Hey everybody, we're trying to get the sun out of this. Let's turn this volume down. Q&A session. We've got a lot of sun behind us because the sun is setting. So we'll try and block it like that, see if that works. Okay, there's Tammy. Hey Tammy. You nice glow around you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Alright, see if Tammy can answer this
my
one.
My angel friends.
That's right. Amanda Bass says, what about nervous, excited peeing? My boy is 1.5 and is still having this issue.
A happy pisser is what I call them.
A happy pisser, right. So what do you recommend to him? I know.
Belly band.
Will it help him?
No, it won't help it. It'll just keep him from peeing all over the floor. I think it's just...
Well, that's a good idea. So what do you think? You put a belly band on, then take him outside, take the belly band off, maybe he'll pee outside and not in the house?
No, he's just a happy pisser. He gets excited and he pees. That's just some dogs.
But if you put a belly band on, does it stop him from peeing?
No, it doesn't stop him from peeing.
Well,
it just collects it in the belly band to keep it mess off the floor.
Oh.
That's what I'm saying.
I didn't understand how the belly band works.
Yeah. Duh.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah. So, I mean, I'll go do a little bit of looking on this because I just don't have an answer for you on what you do. Don't know. I don't have a good answer. Maybe other people can chime in on what they've done to fix this. Maybe we can get some answers from other people on this. Let's see if people chime in about what they've done about this. So
I always thought they grew out of it, but apparently most of the time is a year and what?
Year and a half, yeah. Well, that would be the norm, wouldn't it? I mean, what this is typically is an excited dog, right?
Mm-hmm.
So one thing I'd say is this. So this may or may not help. I would say this though. So I've got a video that I'm doing on behavior, and it's not specifically about this peeing situation, but it is about things like barking and how you overcome those problems. And all of these things are based on basic training, where the first thing you do is you teach the dog to sit, to stay, and to lay down. And you do that by positive reinforcement with treats. So you all can see the video and it'll explain how. But the whole point behind this is you get the dog into the frame of mind where you can teach the dog to do things based on the reward system. And so what I would be looking at is, when is this dog peeing? Is this dog peeing because somebody's come into the house and is really excited? And if that's the case, then what I would do is I would have a doggy bed that is basically a quiet area. This is a place you teach him to go to when anybody comes to the door, when anybody new comes into the house, the times that he's going to get excited. What you do is he gets a treat, he goes to his quiet area, he gets a toy to play with, and he stays there for 5 minutes until you're introduced to everybody, so that you can get him off this wild rush of excitement. And it'll work.
No, I think,
you don't like
see how much water intake see how much water he's drinking. Just any kind of clue to get his belly not full of water. I don't know. I really don't know.
Well, I don't think he's peeing. I don't think he's peeing because he's bladder's full.
No, he's just excited.
Exactly. So you've got to try to quell the excitement down. So the idea is to get him to go to a
That's where you think that being not a puppy anymore would.
Well, okay. Well, we've weighed in on this. We've spent 3 or 4 minutes talking about this. Okay. Other people are going to weigh in and they're going to give us some suggestions to see what they come up with. Go Fetch Kennel says, question, what happens if pied bulls and murals have puppies?
They have.
Not doing it, but would like to know the reason. Not sure exactly what you're asking us here, but we'll approach this from 2 different directions.
I don't know why you can't breed a
The first one is like Tammy says, we do it all the time. No reason whatsoever. Pied murals are pretty dogs. Yep. And then lots of times, the other dog doesn't have a copy of pied anyway. You don't want to get pieds out of it. But there's absolutely no genetic reason that's going to cause you problems for a pied with a mural, or any reason why you shouldn't know. So there's the answer to that one. Red male, so this is Davey Kimball says, red male, black mask, bred to a fawn female, produce brindles, question mark. No. So he goes on to say, male's parents' dad is brindle, mummy's fawn, female parents are red and fawn. Okay, so, alright, so the answer is no, you shouldn't get any brindles at all, and here's the reason why. Because red dogs don't have brindle. Fawn dogs don't have brindle, at least in my experience. And that's been many, many years of looking at all this. I've never seen a fawn dog or a red dog that had a copy of brindle. Now, it may have had brindle parents, but in those cases, the parents only had a single copy, and it was lucky enough not to receive the copy. So the answer is, should be fine. Here's Dree Jackson. Same question I've been asked already today, and I'm going to answer this not now, but it's asking about this pink gene and the husky gene. So we will do a video on this.
No clue.
Don't know about the husky, do know about the pink a little bit. We're going to work on this and try and get all of our ducks in a row and give you the right answer on this. So the answer is, we don't have those dogs, so I'm not really up on it, but I'm going to educate myself and hopefully come up with the right answer. Susan Brocksmith says, I'm shocked to see the flood of French puppies on the Facebook. Market seems to be really flooded compared to a year ago. I've also seen much lower prices compared to a year ago, especially regarding fluffies. Have you noticed this? Seems like everyone and their brother are breeding Frenchies now. Well, I mean, so the first thing is that we have had a pandemic going on. We have had stimulus money. People have been staying at home. And a lot of those people have thought, you know what, it'd be fun to have a puppy, which is probably a great reason to have a puppy. So, because of that, there are more people who are interested in having puppies, and because of that, there are dogs to be bred.
Well, a lot of people think it's a get rich quick thing too, and they're going to find out it's not. And then there's a lot of people out there that are raising puppies that shouldn't be raising puppies.
Yeah, well, I mean, but I mean, the other, you know, everybody each to their own. And I mean, you know, we're not here to tell people what they should and shouldn't do. The only thing we ask
get
is,
some phone calls from people that you just go, oh my gosh.
Sure, but look, people bite off more than they can chew and don't realize it. This happens. I mean, you know, we've done that on projects of our own, not dogs, but I mean, you know, but I mean, I think the point here is anytime that you've got dogs selling for a lot of money like these fluffies, more and more people are going to be interested.
Well,
Because
I tell you what, it'll be way different next year, I promise you, because a lot of people are going to find out it's a lot more work than what they thought.
Well, the other part about this is because that you've got a lot of people trying to produce these fluffies, there's some questionable structure behind some of these dogs, and because
There's
of that,
a lot more maintenance on these fluffies.
yeah. But we're not trying to talk people out. I mean, our experience has been that
beautiful.
our experience, the prices are fine, right? We've not discounted at all. We've not had any problems. And Cody just had a litter of dogs, and all the females sold. They were pre-sold.
Oh, he's got everything sold.
Yeah. So
fluffy carriers on top of that.
I say this: do it well. Do it the best you can. Be nice to your dogs. Be great to your customers. And if you do that, then it'll all probably work out okay. Certainly, there's no guarantees on prices, just like the stock market and everything else. Things fluctuate. It's a supply and demand situation. But be the best at it, not mediocre, and I think you'll get good results. French Bulldog Flog says, how do I get my newborn French Bulldog litter genetic tested? Would I send in the due clause to UC Davis? Sure, that'll work. So that's exactly what we do. You know, we remove dew claws, we send the dew claws off because it's a great way of sending off the DNA material. You don't have to do it that way. You can do a pinprick to their paws, they don't like it as much. You can do a swab on their cheeks, but you've got to wait till they really stop weaning before you can do that reliably. UC Davis, we like animal genetics personally. UC Davis, Vet Gen, Embark, Paw Prints, they all do this. And then Frenchy Bulldog Flog says, thank you James, my female is hitting her 60-day mark this week, we're excited. Well, yeah, absolutely. So pay attention to timing, don't go take puppies
make sure
early.
You let the female tell you when she's having babies, not the vet scheduling you when to have babies. And just because he's going on vacation, or it's a weekend and they don't want to be called out on a weekend, or they don't make calls, you need to find another vet. So you let that female tell you when she's having babies.
Right.
Temperature check a week beforehand also.
Hollywood Gold Frenches says, I'm a proud graduate of Love My Pups University. We are sending your plaque in the mail. It's really special. You will be so proud of it. You will hang it proudly in your hallway of your house so we can see it when they come in, because you are a graduate. Congratulations. Good job.
That's funny.
I like it.
Yeah, but it's funny.
I actually got a website called French Bulldog University that I've actually activated, which I got a long time ago, thinking that we should put this all together that way as a kind of a.
Okay.
You don't like it? Okay. Jeffrey510CCV3 says, can blue fawns exhibit tan points? Let's see what the replies say. So Vanessa Payne says, in short, no, AY is fawn, AT is tan points. AA is solid coat. Because all genes come in duos, a dog could be AYAT, but would still be fawn because fawn trumps tan points.
So sable fawn.
That would be AYAT.
That's an AYAT, yes.
Yeah, so I'm going to go slightly off different than what Vanessa said here, because the answer is that Vanessa's exactly right. Let's just talk about the A locus. There's 4 potential genes, of which only 3 of them work for French bulldogs. There's a 4th one, which is the agouti locus, or the wild gene. We don't see that in Frenchies, but we see AY, which is a fawn. We see AT, which is tan points, and we see A, which is the recessive black. So what do you get with a fawn dog that is AA? The answer is it's a black dog. So that gets to be a black dog. If you get an AYAY dog and it doesn't have brindle, it doesn't have blue or chocolate, that's a fawn dog. If you get an AYAT dog, that is a sable, and it will have.
Blue fawn sable, like
Well, we're talking about a straight fawn now. Right. So a fawn that's AYT will have some little bit of sabling. It'll be, what's the right way to describe it? Kind of
wolf.
black kind of ticking to the end of the hairs, right?
No, not ticking.
You don't want to call it ticking?
No, like a saddle of black on the tip ends of the hair.
Yes, that's what I mean by
Or if it's
ticking.
a blue fawn, it'll have blue.
Right. If it's an ATAT, it'll be a black and tan. It'll be a black and tan. It won't be a fawn. So there's your answer on that. So the answer is the only way that you get a fawn dog is no brindle, no blue, and when I say no blue, I don't mean I mean no 2 copies of blue, no 2 copies of cream, no 2 copies of either version of chocolate. And a dog that is AYAY will be fawn, a dog with AYAT will be sable, a dog that is AA will be black, a dog that is ATAT will be black and tan.
Let me talk to you about when you said ticking. Ticking is when you have a pied dog that's got freckles, what you would call freckles all over it.
Gotcha.
That is called ticking.
Gotcha. Right.
So you're ticking.
I'm not using the right thing.
Right,
exactly.
You're not using the right thing.
So there is a word for this when the tips of the hairs have little black tips on them.
Tips.
And I'm not sure what you call that. Somebody will chime in and tell us.
Yeah.
But you're right, ticking is more the spotting, isn't it?
Right. It looks like freckles all over the dog, and it's called ticking. Yeah.
Yes, right, exactly. And you see that quite a bit in pied dogs, don't you?
Yeah.
Right, thank you. Very good.
Write that down in your books. Check for Tammy. Was you wrong, honey?
Yes, I was wrong. Glad to admit it. I like being wrong. You know why? You know what's good about being wrong? You just learn something.
Let me deflate your head a little bit.
No, I'm happy to be wrong. But what I don't like to be is I don't like to be wrong and not realize it. Because that's when you start giving bad information out or making poor choices. When you're wrong and you find out about it, you just learn something. And guess what? Life's all about that. I'm 100%. I guess none of us like to realize that we're wrong, but it's just not that big a deal. Knowing that thinking that you're right when you're wrong is much more serious. Much more serious outcome. You look like a jerk for a start. Tracy O'Connor. James, I've been studying genetics recently and I'm getting a DNA test done on my stud, but I really don't understand how to read and interpret the results. Say I'm a prospective breeder looking at this stud's DNA results and crossing it with...
Doesn't it explains it to you on the DNA report too.
For my female, how do I analyze the two to determine what the potential litter will look like? I have not found anything online that explains that. Okay. Well, there is something online.
There is.
And it's called Cría. It's an app. It's on the App Store, the Apple App Store, and I think it works on both Apple's and what's the other iOS? Android. And it is called Cría, B-A-K-I-A, and it's called French Bulldog Coat Color Calculator. That is great, and I've done a video on it. So if you look for that video, Cría, you'll find the video. And the video that I put together explains you how to use it. And it is a little bit you can kind of make some wrong deals on it if you don't get the input right, but it's really pretty easy to use, and it shows you exactly what the dogs will look like, and it's a great product.
So that information is out there.
Absolutely. So Bakia. The Chi pack. Can you explain how chocolate-based sable occurs? 2 black-based sables produce 2 chocolate-based pups. Okay, so I'm not sure what you mean by a black-based sable.
Yeah, I don't either.
I think that what you're talking about here is probably a fawn dog that's AYAT, like we talked about in the previous question, where it has this, what I incorrectly called ticking, but it's a sable.
Yeah.
So you can have, you can get a by the way, you can have 2 dogs that don't look chocolate that produce a chocolate dog, right? So the way that happens is both dogs have a single copy of chocolate, big CO, little CO, or big B, little b. You put those 2 dogs that have a single copy of chocolate together, and they then produce 1/4 of the litter that have 2 copies and end up being chocolate. And if that dog is also AYAT, bingo, you've just got yourself a chocolate sable. Well, Blessed for Life says, love the information and the content you keep giving us. I really love your channel. It's the best on YouTube. Well, thank you. You know what the funny thing is I look at this stuff to see what our numbers are, because, you know, we want to get good numbers. And, you know, I've got 41,000, 42,000 people who look at these videos. That's wonderful. I really love that. But, you know, individually on these Q&A sessions, you know, I get 1,000 people watching it. I'm surprised that I can't get a lot more than that. So I need to, you know, if you've got some ideas about how we might improve the way our Q&A sessions are, because we do a lot of them, then we'd be akin to that. Right, there's 17 minutes. Look at that, guys. What the problem is, I'm making these things too long. There we go. That's got us up to date on Q&A. Hey, say goodbye, Tammy.
Oh, and remember, we are Central Time. So if you live in California, you're 2 hours behind us. So when it's 7:30 your time and you're getting ready for work and you want to call and visit about puppies or products, you're calling me at 5:30 in the morning.
No, that's fine. If you're in California, they call it 7:30 in California. It's 10:30 here.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's the other way around. Actually, it's 9:30. No. It's 9:30. No, the problem gets to be if somebody from California calls us up at 10 o'clock at night, it's midnight here. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Or New York's not, everywhere else not as bad, it's just an hour.
Yeah, that's right.
So it's California time, California mountain time, where we are 2 hours behind you. So just be a little bit mindful of that, because, you know,
and Vegas is
1 hour.
1 hour ahead.
Too bad.
Yeah.
1 hour.
But
1 hour
I mean, you know, when you get a phone call at 5:30 in the morning, you didn't go to bed till 1:30. I can't go back to sleep. Sorry. But anywho, just remember, we are Central Time.
Oh, you got one today at 5:30, didn't you?
Oh, I got 2 calls this morning.
Yeah, right.
One at 5:30 and one at 5:40.
We'll be much more friendly to answer your questions.
It was California and Florida.
Well, the people from California, they got up really early because they did it at 3:30 in the morning.
They must have got off a hospital shift or something. I don't know.
Yes, right.
It's like.
And the other thing about this is, if you've got a question that you're asking us, you know, in the middle of the night, send us a text, because then we'll respond to that text when we get up.
I normally don't have my phone on.
Well, I know, but you'll still get the text in the morning when you look at your phone.
Yeah.
If you send us a text, it's kind of a politer way of doing it, because we can answer, you know, because, you know, nobody wants to be woken up at 5:30 in the morning. So.
That's why you saw me yawning. That's why, because I'm heading back home and I was.
There we go. All right.
See you.
Bye, everybody. Watching the video. I really appreciate people who subscribe to me. It helps me, encourage me to do more of these videos. But do remember, disclaimer here, I am not a vet. I'm not a licensed medical professional. I'm purely a person who's been breeding dogs for the last couple of decades. Any information that you got from this video, use at your own risk. There's nothing implied here, and certainly this should not be used as a substitute for advice from your veterinarian or your medical professional. I hope you enjoyed the video. Come back for more of them. Bye.